And also, fans asked us, what about RPG miniatures? The funny thing about this is a lot of these requests were actually coming from Battletech fans. Because the early releases of Battletech had a lot of Destroy mecha that they love, called through all sorts of names such as Warhammer, so on, alternate names from the Robotech universe. But, the same essential mecha design. And for reasons that happened a long time ago and have been settled, in legal venues, they have now become unseen in the Battletech universe. And they've got all sorts of little mechas, but nothing for those, the unseen, officially. And so this interesting collector's item that I'm showing you up there is actually a super duper rare miniature that Palladium had briefly produced. Well, one of the things we decided to do is we decided to extend Palladium's license and give them, include the rights to make miniatures in their license. So we've expanded their license because they've done such a good job. And Palladium is now making an open call for talented sculptors to actually contribute. So if you guys want a chance at breaking into the industry, making it big, contact them at palladiumbooks.com. They're open to this because this is something new in their license that they haven't done before. Robotech calendar. Hey, Steve. First time we ever had a calendar was in '88. Last time we ever had one was in '96. We haven't had one since then. But for this year, Mr. Steve Yoon here is demonstrating an awesome calendar that's presently available on Robotech.com with a mixture of the classic and the new artwork. And it's available on Robotech.com, but for this convention, we're giving some away to some lucky folks here. And if you go to the Robotech X fan booth in the mezzanine, that's the little in-between floor between the top and bottom floors of the convention center. If you've ever been to the mezzanine, it's like the little section of quiet in between the chaos. They're doing a daily giveaway raffle every day. So if you guys throw your name in the box, they'll be giving away one of these to lucky fans. So be sure to visit the Robotech X fan booth. And Robotech Toys, we're going to speed it up a little bit because, all right. Actually, I think, all right. We started releasing a little recently through Toynami the Enemy Mecha. This was something that was highly requested. The movie editions have been sold out. And last year we showed off new mecha designs that were in the works. And actually, if you go to the Toynami booth in the main hall, they've actually got this prototype on display. And one of the requests we had was, what about more Shadow Mecha? This was something that sold out relatively recently. We had some releases of Shadow Mecha, including the Dark Mospita from the Mospita universe, or you could also call the Shadow Cyclone. And the Shadow Fighters from the Masterpiece series. They were blown out, completely sold out. And people also asked us for more accessories. The super armor kits, the fast packs, were very popular with the Veritex. People liked attaching things to their transforming mecha. And so here was a teaser that we showed a little while back. It's like, looks like a beta fighter, right? Yeah. All right. Who can identify what looks different about this one beta fighter sculpt? Yellow shirt? You saw correctly what's new, but it's actually a synchro cannon on the beta fighter. So actually, can we get this gentleman a little prize?
Oh yeah, you want to come up here and pick the prize out of the table? All right.
Yes, a new synchro cannon accessory. This is actually a detachable accessory. You can either have the standard missile launchers that come with the beta fighter, or you can attach the synchro cannon. And the nice thing about this attachment is it transforms with the beta fighter. So you can have it both ways. You can have the missile launchers or the synchro cannon during the transformation. And so that's coming out soon. Check with Toynami, be on the lookout. They'll have a release date on this soon. I believe they're, as we speak, they're soliciting this through Diamond Distribution, so look for this in collectible shops. Yes, Robotech plushies. This was something, this was an odd category that we had never produced. I don't think we've ever produced it at all.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, there was just that one Macross plushie, which is super duper rare. And we were actually discussing some, additions to Toynami's license as well. What other collectibles that they could manufacture. And one of the things that was brought up was this kind of fad in anime bed sheets and pillows and that kind of stuff.
And they have scale animals, and if you go to Toynami's booth, they also have that Hello Kitty Chun-Li doll, which sold out really quick. So yeah.
Some of that, yeah, maybe. Unless you're a really lonely guy who needs like a Chun-Li pillow or something. So we thought that this would actually be more appropriate to start out with. And they've got it in 2 scales. As you can tell here, we've got it in 148 and 1/100 scale, depending on how much you scrunch it. And it's on display at the Toynami booth number 329 in the hall. So just look for aisle 3200. And, oh yeah, last year we were talking about working on the Robotech 25th anniversary soundtrack. We had just about wrapped up work, and Steve scrapped all the work he had done earlier on it, and Steve's going to tell you why.
Because we kept finding vaults internationally where we were finding more and more material that Harmony Gold just dropped off in the 80s and forgot about, and so we got back tapes from some vaults that were closing, and we weren't sure what they were. Or the archivist wasn't sure what they were, so they showed them to us. And then we took a look at it. We said, well, we have some of these songs already, but why is the tape 2 inches thick instead of half an inch thick, like most of our other tapes? And we found out this is a 24-track tape, which is where, can we go to the last one? This is the one with the red lights. So a 24-track player, apparently there's only 2 of this model in Northern America. And so we found one of the guys who had one, and then we asked him, how do you know that this is one of only 2? And he said, well, because I know the other guy who has the other one. So with the 24-track tape, stereo, you have 2 tracks. You have your left and right, but here, every single track holds a different instrument. So one has trumpets, one has violins, one has saxophone, one has the singing, one has the engineer yelling at everyone else. So because of this, we could do much cleaner restorations of the music than before, including what was impossible before. We found a 3rd verse to "We Will Win," the crown jewel of our soundtrack. And the 3rd verse, if it was just flattened and all the instruments were combined, we wouldn't be able to add the 3rd verse in. But because we had all the instruments separated on their own, we were able to do some Frankenstein cutting and chopping here and there and engineering. And so, do we have an example here?
Actually, the examples here we have is, I think we have the guitar solo from that segment.
Yeah.
All right, The Way to
Oh,
Love.
not that one.
Take one.
Oh, another thing is, now we also have the studio chatter, so all the musicians saying, oh, I made a mistake, or things like that. We've gotten all that now.
Okay, all right, now I'll play the right one.
So we have a new guitar solo because we keep having delays with the soundtrack, we figured, well, we need to get some of this out at least. People have been waiting. So for all the new versions of We Will Win, we had an EP that came out earlier this year.
Actually, one other interesting thing that's been included is because now we have all the tracks isolated, we could do something that wasn't possible before, our karaoke versions, with the voices taken out.
Oh yeah, and one of the things we had requested of us a lot was people wanted a karaoke version of Together because people would play that at their weddings, and they wanted one without the vocals so that they could have someone sing it live. And now finally, I think it's on the. Is it on this?
No, it's not on. Will be on the sentence by itself. Yeah.
So later this year, when we have the full soundtrack come out, we'll have the karaoke version of Together.
Oh, actually, here, we'll play the other clip. It's The Way to Love, and this is the Min-Mei version.
Oh yeah, and Way to Love was a song that we had the Lancer version on the soundtrack before, but we never had the Min-Mei version. And it's only playing on radio somewhere in the background in one of the episodes, but now we found all the the separated tracks for it, but we didn't know how to mix it. And thankfully, is Don Yi here? Don Yi was a fan who had gotten a recording of The Way to Love from Reba West, who sang the song. And because of that, he lent us the tape and we were able to listen to that as a reference to know how to mix the song. And now thanks to him, we were able to do a correct version of The Way to Love by Min-Mei, which is on here.
And actually another thing was, we were able to get in touch with the original recording engineer, and we were also able to get in touch with Randall Rummage, who was the music producer on the Sentinels, and as well as Keely Minucci, the son of Ulpio Minucci, and they were able to all give us feedback on remixing the music. So that really helped us out a lot in terms of getting this right. So we'll play this for you.
All right, The Way to Love. Take one.
That was in the previous one. This is now the George Sullivan CD.
So we had the We Will Win EP, and we also have the George Sullivan version of It's You I Love. So, for you Southern Cross fans, the George Sullivan version we've got finally, thanks to all these lost tapes that we found.
It's you I miss. It's you who's on my mind.
Any of you 80s kids who recognize the artwork, the cover? Yell it out. Yeah, there you go. It's Thriller.
And if you remember Michael Jackson's Little Pet Tigers inside the Thriller album, get this and open it up, and you're in for a surprise. Okay, one big thing that people always ask us, it's kind of like driving around cross country with a kid that says, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Are we there yet?
All right. One thing, we've got a great partner here with Warner Brothers Pictures. Now, they're not hurrying with this movie, they're not rushing it out because we don't want a POS. You hear about movie licenses, like one high profile example happened was after Interview with a Vampire was a huge success, the rights were just about to expire with the follow-up, which was Queen of the Damned. And so they rushed that movie just to make a deadline date. and of course it shows. And so one thing with this one is we would rather see them get the script right, take every nuance, as much time as they want to make sure creatively it works, because if they're gonna blow $100 million on an effects-laden film, we want to make sure that it's a good one. Just so everyone knows, it's the same people we've listed last year. Kiva Goldsman, Jason Netter, Toby McGuire, many of them recognizable names. Worked on, the writers, they worked on big films ranging from Spider-Man 2 to Empire Strikes Back to Raiders of the Lost Ark. There are also other people that have been brought on board. We're not allowed to officially announce anybody because some of these happened in magazines such as Variety and so forth. But if you Google, you can find out there's all sorts of stuff going on the project. But that's as much as I can say about the project. Just like other panels I've heard, say, we're proud to be working on this, but I can't say anything more because I love my family. So now fans ask us, what's next for Robotech? We said that we had a project that was not Shadow Rising that we were working on. And we had been working, starting on this with Carl Masick briefly before he had passed away. And it was a project that didn't have a name. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this. When we had licensed the 3 parts of Robotech, Macross, Southern Cross, and Mospita. Now, many people know about all the different parts of Macross, because of course that's one of the bigger franchises in anime fandom. But Mospita, how many of you know that Harmony Gold didn't license everything in Mospita? All right, you guys are cool. Now, how many of you knew that there was an ending to Mospita that was not licensed by Harmony Gold? All right. Can anybody raise their name and tell us what's it called? Yes, you there in the gray shirt. All right. You want to pick out something from the?
Come on up and clip, get a prize.
All right. Now what I've got here is a frame grab close-up in giganto glory, letting you show warts and all, the quality of the master that we got from Japan. It's very grainy, shot on 16 millimeter, OVA, standard OVA quality for the 80s. But we had to go through a restoration process to clear it up of the noise, the grain, and also the colors. And here's a split screen, gives you a good demonstration of what's going on here. What we actually started embarking on once we had the materials from Tatsunoko Productions in Japan, we actually embarked on a whole restoration process, just like we did on the rest of Robotech, to bring it up to par with the quality of Robotech on DVD.